tonight, all right, tonight is going to be all about the bear. And now, bear medicine is very, very special to me. You see, bear is about being a healer, and it's about being a caretaker. It also connects us to that divine feminine energy, okay? And, you know, the female bear, all right, the female bear will tear your head off if you mess with her cubs. If you mess with her family, her people, oh, no, 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 no. That bear is going to say, no, don't you dare. Now, with that in mind, I feel like this describes me a little bit, just a little bit, because I'm very protective of my chosen family and of my students. I'm very, very protective of them. And I don't want anybody messing with them. No, I'll rip their, it's just not acceptable. Bear has always been part of who I am. All right. And so I want to start out with telling you one of the stories, about bear. Now, bear, there's a lot of stories about bear. And this story happens to be one of my favorite. There's a young couple, they're starting out, native couple, and excuse me, and they have a family. And it's early winter and getting close to winter, I should say, actually. And it was nighttime, and they're getting their kids to bed, and it's starting to snow outside, and he's a hunter, and he looks at his wife and he says, the snow's coming down tonight. It's coming down, the snow. So that means there's going to be deer tracks for me to be able to find tomorrow. Deer tracks, and I'll be able to track them. Okay. So they're all excited about being able to get a deer for the winter. So they have some meat and stuff. Yeah. So in the morning, he gets up and he looks out, and the snow has stopped, and he's excited because he knows he's going to be able to find those deer tracks without a problem. And he was going to get himself a deer. Now, before he left, his wife was so kind. She fixed him a little bundle, and in this bundle was some dried meats and some dried berries and stuff for him to take along, just in case he gets hungry. Now, so he goes, he gets his bow, he's got his arrows, he's got his satchel with the food, and he goes out on this trip. So in the process, he's wandering and wandering. Finally, he finds deer tracks. And he's starting to follow those tracks, and he's going and going and going. He finds these tracks, and he's feeling like he's getting closer and closer. So finally, he gets closer because he's seeing the deer on that ridge. So he's getting closer up there, and it's like, okay, all right, I think I can get it. And so he gets his arrow, and he puts it in the bow, and he pulls back, and he shoots, but he misses. He misses that deer. But the deer hears something. So the deer is now alert. He knows something's going on, but he doesn't run. So the hunter's excited because the deer didn't take off. So it's like he has another chance, right? And so he puts another arrow in his bow and pulls back, and he shoots. This time he hits the deer. He gets him. But the deer takes off running with the arrow in it. So that hunter is just chasing this deer now. And he's chasing, and he's running, and he's chasing. But he's losing it. He can't see where the deer went all of a sudden. You know, he lost the tracks. He couldn't see. He's getting frustrated. So, and now it's beginning to snow. So any tracks that were there are being covered up with snow. Okay. So he's frustrated, and it's starting to get dark, and he didn't know what to do. You know, he's like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to turn around and head home. Well, all of a sudden he stops and he starts looking around the woods, and he's in an area that he's never been before. Never, ever, ever been before. And so he's a little lost, and he's not sure what to do. So he takes a big sigh and he's like, okay, I'll head out this way, I guess. You know, so he's going this way. And as he's going and he's walking, all of a sudden he sees the lake. He's like, oh, the lake. I know exactly where I am now. There's the lake. He's like, and he started laughing because he realizes his house is on the other side of the lake. Okay. Now, if he walks around the lake, he's like going, it's going to be very, very late. It's going to be pitch black. It's going to be so dark, you know, by the time I get home. The best thing for me to do is to cross the lake. Now, it's frozen, it's cold, and it's been iced over for a while, he's telling himself. So the ice on the lake should be strong enough for me to go across the lake. Okay, I'll do this. So he's in the process, stepping out on the ice, and he's like, yeah, this is safe. This is good. Yeah, this is good. And he's going very slow, and he's walking, and he's using his bow kind of to help him walk across that lake, you know, just slow. Then all of a sudden, there's just a faint sound, just a very faint sound of a crack. He's like, oh shit. Now he's taking a look at where he is on the lake, and he's like going, I'm halfway. Okay, just breathe. I know I can get to the other side. So he's going, now he's picking up his pace just a little bit. And you know, when you walk a little faster, you hit the ground a little harder. Okay. So the next few steps that he takes, all of a sudden you hear this big crack, and he falls into the lake. And he's like, okay, don't panic. You know, don't panic. Breathe. Okay. And he climbs himself up out of the lake, and he drags himself across that the rest of the way. And he gets to the other side. And now he's cold. He's stopping wet. He's cold. And he's got a little ways yet to go. But he looks over, and on this hill, he knows there's a cave up there. And he knows if he goes up into that cave, all right, he could build a little fire maybe, and get warm for the evening, and then make the rest of the journey in the morning. Yeah, at the same time, he's like, oh, you know, there might be a bear in that cave, but that's okay. It's okay. You know, it's okay that there's a bear in the bear fur is really warm, and I could snuggle up next to the bear and dry off a little bit. Okay. So all this is going through his mind. He gets to the outside of the cave. Just before he goes in, he decides to have a little bit of that meat and a little bit of the berries, but he didn't eat it all. He just had a little bit. He goes into the cave, and he sees the bear. He sees the bear sleeping. You know, bears are hibernating this time of year, so he wanted to be really quiet and really respectful. So he decided he's not going to build a fire. He's just going to kind of cozy up to that bear and get warm. So that's what he did. Well, in the morning, what happens is he wakes up early, and he's like, okay, I have I have to get out of this cave now. I have to get out, and I need not to wake the bear, because whatever you do, you don't wake a bear when they're sleeping, you know. I don't know about anybody else, but if you have bear energy and you're sleeping, you don't want somebody to come wake you up rudely. No. That's just not acceptable. So he knows this. So he gets himself, he starts backing himself out of the cave. But just before he goes, he wanted to give that bear gratitude. All right. So he took that sack, that satchel that his wife gave him, and laid it down on the ground. And he pulls out the meat, and he pulls out the berries, and he lays it all spread out for a nice meal for this bear when he wakes up, to say thank you for taking care of me, you know. So he climbs down the hill, and he goes, and he gets home, and his wife is like, "Where have you been? I've been so worried, you know, no deer?" And he's like, no deer. I lost the deer. And she's like, "Oh, that's okay. But where have you been? You look, what's. And he's like, "It's okay, honey." And he gives his wife a big hug, and he said, "It's okay. It's really okay. Brother Bear took care of me. Brother Bear took care of me. He kept me dry. He gave me safety." You know, this is one of the reasons why I love the story. It's because it's, that bear kept him safe, gave him a place to sleep, gave him warmth, gave him strength to be able to go on. So, who has some insight maybe on that story? How did that make you feel? What was it about that story that gave you something, gave you a feeling? Anyone? Go into it for a minute. Listen. And when you have something, raise your hand. Let me know. Do you have something, Tanya? Annette has her hand up. Okay, Annette.
Is I really, and it hit me about him not having a bunch of fear about going in there, and just having his, just himself knowing about that medicine, about being there. It's really nice not to have fear to go in and experience that.
Thank you. Jeannie, you had your hand up too.
Thank you. For me, I felt you could, through your story, understand the honor, the knowledge, obviously, that the hunter had, and the respect. So he was able to respect the bear, knowing that the bear would provide the comfort. And at the end, he needed to provide honor by respecting him. So it's just a circle and the interconnection that if we take the time to listen and to observe, there's so many ways we can rescue ourselves.
Yes. Thank you. And Stephanie.
My feeling for that story was closer to Annette's, where the man let his fear go and trusted in the relationship that he had with the animal, and knowing that he would be more of a support to him as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You know, there are many, many bear stories that are, there's some variants to them from the east and from the south and the west and the north, right? In the English language, bear is something thought of as power, right? And it's really taught to be something to be fearful of, right? To be afraid of. This is not how the bear is viewed with the indigenous people, all right? She's taught us many, many things and brought us much, much medicine, you know. So I'd like to tell you tonight a creation story of how the bear came to be, all right? Now, so when the creator, or divine spirit, creator, created bear, right? Created bear from grass, all right? The bear came from grass. And the bear rose not once, but 4 times from the grass, okay? Now, the first time the bear rose from the grass, you know, she was small and make it easy for her to climb the willow trees, right? And when she climbed the willow trees, they would bend over, right? And so this was in order to help the people create the medicine lodge, right? So the bear brought in that medicine lodge, all right? And now this bear, this first bear, set out to follow the waters, all right, of the east, you know, to strengthen the lands and for it to be utilized and help the people, for them to stay healthy. So then we had a second bear. The second bear, when it rose, it was a black bear. Okay. Now the black bear, it set out to follow the waters of the south and to strengthen the land and to be utilized for the people so they can stay safe and healthy. Okay. The third time the bear rose from the grass was the grizzly bear. Right? Big and strong. The grizzly said, I shall follow the waters of the west because I'm big and I'm strong and I can climb those mountains, those Rocky Mountains. Yes, I'm big, I'm strong, I can climb. So that bear, that grizzly, set out to the west and climbed those Rockies. And it was bringing that strength to the land, and the land to be utilized and for the people to stay strong and healthy. Now, when fall comes, right, the season, the fall, grass lays down, right? The grass lays down. So the bear lays down. When the grass lays, the bear goes. And when it rises again, the grass rises in the spring, so does the bear. But wait a second. What about the fourth bear? I said there was 4, right? Well, the fourth bear, when she rose out of that grass, she was white. She was the polar bear. And the polar bear said very loud and very clearly, yes, yes, I will follow the waters. I will follow the waters of the north. Yes, I will strengthen the land for the people so that they can stay safe and healthy. Right? Yes, I will do that. However, I will not lay down. No. I will not lay down. I will stay awake, and I will lead the path of the lights of the north. so that people can find their way back to the stars where they came from. Right. So that is the creation story of the bears, right? And how the bears came to be. Now, Native traditions, all right? Native traditions, the bear, the polar bear, the black bear, and the grizzly are the animals that are most frequently associated with medicinal plants, all right? The flowers, the roots, you know, are used to heal with, okay? So this fact comes from the fact that the bear's from grass, right? That's close to those medicinal herbs. Just look at the things that the bear ate, right? Berries, right? You know, berries. Okay. Bear root, all right? The bear would eat bear root, also known as osha. Osha is historically a root that's been used in Native American and Hispanic cultures for a very long time. Bear root is used for sore throats. It's used for bronchitis, common cold, influenza. It's been used for swine flu, pneumonia. It's also been used to treat viral infections like herpes and AIDS and things along those lines. All right. So bear's strength was looked at the fact that she could give birth when she was still sleeping during hibernation. All right. She lived off her own fats. When they hibernate, they really live off their own fats and recycle the body waste during this time period. All right. So bear is amazingly able to heal theirself, their bone loss. They can heal their bone loss. They can heal their muscle loss during this time period. You know, they're always doing that. Now, and just think, they give birth, right? They give birth when they're asleep still. So when she comes out and steps out of hibernation, she's bringing a young cub with her, and last year's yearlings possibly with her as well. Now, I don't know what it's like to give childbirth, but I know what it sounds like because I worked in labor and delivery for many years when I was in college, and I would hear women scream and sometimes say some not so nice things to their husbands. So I think the ability, okay, the ability to give childbirth, all right, to give childbirth while you're asleep is just an absolute wow. Anybody else think that? You know, I would think that would be a wow. So looking at the hibernation cycle, it really teaches us to value time of rest, peace, that quietness, that privacy. You know, particularly in today's world where our lives are really busy, and if things are, you know, pulled on us and we have to do this, we need to go here, we got, you know, that hibernation, that bear that gives us that time, that understanding that we need to take time. We need to go into that time of introspection, you know, that time of thought, go inward in our lives. Okay, so by using this time where we go into that introspection, right, we get to work with our dreams. We get to learn how to create and work with our dream time, to use that intuition and to really develop that skill, right? This is what Bear teaches us. Teaches us time to take time to rest, to rebuild our energies. As the grass lays, so does the bear. So this time period is also thought of as a death and rebirth, right? So every time we go to sleep at night, all right, every time we go to sleep, we have a small death, right? Every time we go to sleep at night, there's a death. And we wake up, it's a rebirth. Right? So every morning when you wake up, it's a miracle. It's a small miracle, right? So the bear teaches us that gratitude. When we wake up in the morning, you know, that should be one of the biggest, taking a breath, let it out and say, oh, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to wake up. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. Thank you for giving me a new start. Because every time it's a new start. You know? So Bear is also in charge of teaching childbirth, raising our cubs and our children. This is one of the natural laws that was given to her to do by Creator. Creator created laws. There are so many laws that govern our lives to be overseen by different guides. And this is the law of the bear. The bear is the one that teaches us how to raise our children, all right? How to be, because bears are the ultimate protectors, right? She teaches her cubs by example. The bear will hold firm and keep you grounded, all right? There are a few out there that are as fearless as mothers as a bear, okay? This type of bravery is in you, all right? If this is in you and you can embrace bear energy in you, all right? This bravery will stay with you for a lifetime. It teaches you to be authentic, right? To be authentic, to be true to yourself. She teaches us about awareness of what's around us, right? About the importance of facilitating healing, not only for the body, but for the mind and for the spirit. The bear will teach you to speak up when you need to. Oh, have you ever come across the bear where she growls? Yeah, I have a few times. And when I've crossed that bear, let's say, I say, hello, how are you? Thank you for coming my way. I'll be going this way. I won't be in your way, but I acknowledge that bear. Now, I've been chased by a grizzly and I've been greeted by black bears. So I really do understand that fear, but if you can breathe and you can acknowledge them and you can say, how are you? They pretty much leave you alone. Because all they want is to be respected and given their space. Okay. And the other thing the bear teaches us is to find the simple joy in the simple things in life. You know, to chase the butterfly, to appreciate the butterfly, to appreciate the water, the grass, the berries. Okay. So for the Navajo, among many other tribes, the Navajo, the bear is the guardian of the West, all right? The Navajo is also known as Dene, particularly view bears as, they really view them as gods and are sacred and are centered in their healing. of dis-ease and disharmony all year long. They invite this bear in, right? Now, there's a special ceremony that the Dene call on, and you know, it's called the Mountain Way, right? And it's a several days of this ceremony. And the reason why it was called Mountain Way is because they understand that the bear is a close relative, a very close relative to us. And so they call the bear the mountain people, right? The mountain people. So the chant called Mountain Way occurs in the early spring, just before the bear actually leaves the cave and comes out of hibernation. Like I said, this is held for several days. And the medicine person, all right, the shaman calls on the strength of the bear, not only to heal the physical of the person, right, but also calls on it to heal the mental and the emotional, along with the spiritual aspects of the person. The bear is thought to scare out anything that is not for the highest good of all. Now, in the Navajo, the Dene, they'll create a sand painting during this ceremony of the bear, and it's in different positions throughout the ceremony. Right. And I believe it is on day 3 that they start with the sand painting. So the bears are believed to be the guides, all right, and the guardians that embody the strength and the self-knowledge. This connects the bear to the feminine energy that is the visionary, all right, the mystic, the medicine person to guide the tribe. Okay. Now, remember I said the bear also finds the joy. Now, there is many bear songs in these ceremonies, and so I want to teach you all a bear song. All right, this bear song it's a children's song actually, and this is my drum. All right, this drum was gifted to me. It's got the 4 directions in the back. All right, and that. But what's so special for me about this particular drum? It's actually a bear skin. All right, this hide is bear hide. Okay, and it has a nice sound to it. A very, very nice sound. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but hopefully you can. And when I was gifted this drum, I was in Ohio. In fact, I believe this is one of the first times I met Kristen Ponzi. And I was given this drum in Ohio at that show. And it sounded flat like that. It didn't have a nice sound. And I never appreciated the drum because it didn't have a nice sound. But I kept it because they had bear hide. Now I moved from Ohio. Well, I never lived in Ohio. I should say I was living in Tennessee in the United States at the time. I moved from Tennessee to Malaysia, where it's nice and dark outside right now. Okay. And I bring this drum with me because it's sacred. I get to Malaysia and the drum has a voice. I get to Malaysia and the drum has a voice. It's like the drum came home. So, you ready to learn a little song? Goes like this. Sami sami quack qua, sami sami. Sami sami quack qua, sami sami. Sami sami quack qua, quack quack qua. So I'll do it without the drum, so you can hear it. Sami sami quack qua, sami sami. Sami sami quack qua, sami sami. Sami sami quack qua, sami sami. Quack quack qua. All right. So we're gonna all sing it together. Okay. Ready? Sami sami quack qua, sami sami. Sami sami quack qua, sami sami. Sami sami quack qua, sami sami. Sami quack quack qua. All right. So that's the Little Bear song. And one of the people that was going to be here tonight that didn't show up, I think she's about the same time zone as you, Stephanie, but she's in Mexicali, Mexico, and her name is Lupita, and Lupita is actually one of the people that taught me that song. So I was like, oh, Lupita, you're not here. I would have had her sing it. She sings much better than I do. All right. But there's another song that I would like for everybody to hear. And I have it as a visual as well. So I'm going to share my screen. Now this particular song is really kind of precious to me. And not only that, the singers are outstanding and the visuals are fantastic. So Did you guys hear that okay? Yeah. Yeah, I really like that song. And someone in this group was drumming along with it. She couldn't help but get that drum out. That's great. That's great, Jenny. That when you feel it, you should drum it. When you feel
I
it.
don't have enough occasion to play it, so that was just perfect. It felt just right. So
Oh, you know what you can do is you can always make an occasion to drum. You know, you can always take a time out in the morning or a time out in the evening for yourself and just drum and calling your bear, calling your totems and your guides to come with you and show you the message that you need to know for the day. You know, and if you live in a place where you're not going to disturb your neighbors, go for it. For me, I have neighbors upstairs, downstairs. I don't know if they'd appreciate my drumming, but I do it anyway, sometimes.
I know away, so I knew that. So it didn't matter that even it was 6 o'clock in the morning, I could play it. They were away, so it was perfect. So thank you for that.
Great, great. I love the bear at the end. Bye. Yeah. So yeah, that little bear song and that song. Now, the Inuit, I think I'm pronouncing the name correctly. They're a tribe that's up actually near Stephanie and Jenny. They're in Canada, further up, and they're master hunters. You know, they're masters. You know, with working with the bears, being with the bears, the polar bears, that is. And these hunters, these indigenous people, they worship the polar bear. They refer to the polar bear as the great bear, you know, and they have a legend. It's a legend with them, and I think it's more than a legend. I think it's real and truth. Because if you noticed from the first story that I told, it was about respecting the bear's privacy and respecting its space and giving gratitude. Well, that's what this legend is about with this indigenous tribe here. Because you see, when a hunter goes and hunts a polar bear and he gets the bear, you know, the legend says that the dead polar bear, the spirit of that bear, if it's not treated properly, all right, if it's not treated properly, you know, misfortune comes to that hunter. He will not be able to, he won't get other bears, he won't get other food and stuff like that to be able to take care of his family. He must treat that bear with full respect. And how he does that is, you know, he harvests all the meat. He has to use all the meat, the liver, everything has to be eaten. Okay, everything must be eaten. The skin, the fur must be utilized, but before it can be utilized and made into trousers, which you know, there 3 pairs of pants can be made out of polar bear skin, okay, and some mucklucks and stuff. So this bear hide needs to be, you know, displayed and put in a prominent space, a very special space in the home of the hunter. And the hunter must provide trinkets and tokens and offerings to this bear spirit for a long period of time. Okay. And so if the hunter follows these rules, eats the meat, all the meat, all right, honors the hide, provides these tokens, these gifts to the spirit of the bear, then the spirit of that bear goes out and tells all the other bears about this hunter. And those bears are willing to give their lives up to this hunter so that he will have successful hunts. All right. Now that's the Inuit about the polar bear. Now, polar bears to me are just incredible creatures. They're very strong. They're very fierce, you know, and they, you know, it not only did the polar bear provide a path for humans to go back to the stars, right? He also provided the same path, the same knowledge, and gifted salmon. You know how salmon go upstream, they go back, right? Well, salmon used to be lost, and the polar bear is the one that said, no, come to me, follow. And the salmon would be like, no, I can't swim upstream. We can't do that. It's too hard. No, follow me. Come to me. And so the salmon said, okay, because they didn't know what their life purpose was. And that bear was giving them their life purpose. So they went up, when they went upstream and they followed the bear, and they kept following the bear, because the bear, the great bear, is also the constellation, the great bear. All right. The great bear, the constellation. Now, most people know the great bear as the Big Dipper. All right. But he was taking the salmon up to the great bear. All right. And as they were going, they were getting their colors of the rainbows and all the colors that could be. And when they wanted to turn around, because not all the salmon followed, because some had doubt and they wanted to go back and get them. And he said, no, 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 you keep coming, keep going to the great bear. They will follow. When it's their time, they'll come. And they did. So now is the time that I'm going to ask all of you just to relax, close your eyes. All right. And I'm going to ask you to take 3 deep breaths. All right. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. In and breathe out. Now, we're going to visit the bear, the little bear of the east that followed the waters of the east. And we're going to ask that little bear, we're going to ask, little bear, may I come into your lodge? Can I come into your lodge, little bear? And the little bear says, yes. Yes, please come join me. So I get down on our hands and knees and we crawl into the lodge, being humble, going back to the earth, crawling in. Little bear, I'm looking for my strength. Little bear, I'm looking for some wisdom. Help me, little bear. The little bear reaches down into a bag. He pulls out some fur. He pulls out some bear fur. He puts this bear fur in a very, very special pouch for you. And he hands you that pouch. And he tells you, when you feel afraid, when you feel ungrounded, when you feel uncertain, reach into this pouch and feel that fur. Call upon that fur, the bear. And we will fill you full of strength. We say thank you. Thank you, little bear. Thank you for this great gift you have just given us. So now we travel to the south. We go to the south and we find the bear of the south. And we say, Black Bear. Black Bear, may we come into your lodge, Black Bear? A big growl comes out. Please come into my lodge. So the Black Bear comes in and welcomes and allows us to crawl into his lodge. Black Bear, we are looking for our strength. We are looking for our purpose. We are looking for your wisdom. We have come from the east, the little bear. Now we're here with you. The Black Bear says, we must speak our truth. We must be authentic and always be in gratitude. We must find the joy in simple little things in life. The bear reaches in a special pouch. He pulls out some fur of his own to add to the first. Now, when you need to feel grounded and when you need to feel that joy, you reach into your pouch and you feel this fur and you ask for it to come forth. Thank you, Black Bear, we say. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Black Bear says, okay, I want you to go to the west. Go to the west and look for the grizzly. We go to the west, we look for the big grizzly. And we find its lodge. Grizzly, may we come into your lodge, we ask. Yes, yes, children, come into my lodge. Come in. Come into my lodge. Be with all your relations here. So we crawl on our hands and knees again into the lodge. And the grizzly roars. Louder and louder the grizzly roars, scaring anything that is not supposed to be with us. Any disease, any mental filtering, anything that is blocking us to spirit, allowing it to go away. Yes, go away. Stand in your power, stand in your truth, be your authentic self, know who you are. You are all relations, all people. We come together, says Grizzly. Now, children, I want you to leave my lodge and I want you to find the path to the north. and say hello to my brother, my sister, polar bear. We head north to the polar bear's lodge. The polar bear says, when you're ready, you can go into my lodge. And when you're ready to take the path to the north, to the lights, you will find your way home within the Great Bear, the constellation of the Great Bear. Your home. Your strength is always in that cup. Your power is always in your voice. And you must remember, child, you are a divine creation of Source, of the Creator. This is where you belong. Oh. So we take another time for a deep breath and let it out slowly. And we take another deep breath. And when you're ready, you stretch, you wiggle your toes and your fingers, and you open your eyes, and you come back to the here and to the now. So, I would like to ask for some shares on that. How did that feel for you? How was that? Anna, how is that for you?
You. It was very embracing. Also, at some point, I felt I was the bear and I was the lodge, the two things at the same time, and I was receiving and going to visit at the same time. I felt a lot of communion, as well as I felt in the first story you told. And I didn't know that the bears give birth sleeping, and it touched me very profoundly. Dreaming the world, yeah. It was also present in this journey, this dreaming. I really felt like the sky was coming also. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Tristan.
Hi, I really appreciated the gratitude piece of each visit. I felt that very deeply, as well as the roar of the grizzly bear, you know, kind of really going through me and taking away the things that I don't need right now. And then at the end, the symbology of, you know, finding your way home with the stars just really resonated pretty deeply with me and my family, actually. So thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Stephanie.
That was a beautiful meditation, Sue. I don't know why, but I just instantly started filling up with emotion and tearing up and really getting into the gratitude of the story. Makes me look at bears differently. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else would like to say anything? Catherine.
Wait, yeah. Sorry, moving the whole house. It felt really, really deep. And I felt like totally being protected in the hugs and the arms of this beer. It felt so good. It was hard to come back. I totally see the beer with different eyes now. Thanks a lot for this. And also the great beer. I think it will remember me now every night and seen every night to this journey. And I think you created a really good connection for me with this. Thank you.
Super. Super. Anybody else like to say something?
I would like to say thank you. I find that it was a great reminder that I very deeply needed these days, that we are all invited by the bear to nurture ourselves first, and then to demonstrate this strength by honoring the blessing that are all around us. I knew that this was going to be fantastic because I love the bear energy. The bear energy helped me a lot in the last 2 years after I've done the shadow work and everything. I find out that it was the animal that brought the most to me in this moment. And today was a great reminder of that. So thank you to both Stephanie for inviting me and for you for facilitating such a beautiful space. So thank you.
You're welcome. Kathy, you wanted to say something?
Oh, yes, I felt so much love and support being with the bears, and it felt that it feels like it will carry through. I feel like it's there with me, and that I have it moving forward too. Thank you so much.
Super. That's great. Anybody else? Okay. Annette, she's
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah, I've been using a laser pad. I think in honor of the bear. I was rescuing some bees last night, and I got stung, and so the phone got heavy to hold in my hand, and that. But I just felt, I felt a lot of beauty and strength, and just the beauty of the stories that you shared, and about the giving birth, and just the whole process of the bear and while they're in that cave. But I felt a lot of strength and just also just love. So thank you.
Thank you. So on your screen, you see this lovely eagle that says harness the energy of the spirit animals. This is the upcoming class that I'm going to be teaching next month. It'll be in 3 weekends. And it's actually, it'll tell you a lot of information here at stormshine.com/totem wheel. This is a class that I developed and went and talked to Star about in that. And in this course, you're going to learn how to build one of these wheels. All right. This is a 22 totem wheel. And this particular wheel is about healing denial. All right. And you can go here and read about it. And there's some testimonials and people that have taken the course. Oh, look at that beautiful person right there. You know, it tells you how to sign up, and it tells you the days and dates of the class. Now, this particular one, this totem wheel class is 1 and 2. All right. There's it's Totem Language 101 and Totem Language 200 put together. All right. And what's nice about this is it's going to be live. All right. I'll be teaching it live on those weekends. And yet, if you want to take the class and you can't wait to take the class, and or you can't make those weekends, you can do it at your own pace. We have it recorded where you can sign up and just take that class and do it on your own at your own pace and go through everything and create the wheels, and you send them in to me and I look them over and check them off, and then you can be certified as a totem wheel, totem language wheel practitioner. All right. This is something that I'm excited about, and there's also software that you can get as well, so you can create the wheel on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, because it's web-based. So it's exciting. It's exciting for me to have this. So I just wanted to share that with you, that that's coming up next month. We're probably going to be doing another evening like this with the eagle, I think. It'll be either with the eagle or the raven. I'm not sure yet, you know. And if you guys are interested, let me know. So I would like to say a word of gratitude to my teachers, and I want to thank them very much, my teachers, for allowing me to do the work that I do. And I'm thankful for my teachers' teachers. I'm very grateful for everyone. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you that came here today and tonight, this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever time it is. Thank you very much. I know it takes a lot sometimes to get here, and I'm very grateful. So with that said, I would like to say, have a nice day, enjoy your evening, and until next time. Thank you very much.